Okay, last night, President Trump addressed the nation to provide information and safety tips about the COVID-19. 2 days ago, President Gee provided information on plans to keep our university community safe. In light of that information that came out in the last 2 days, thought it was best for me to address you all rather than our players. So I apologize about the inconvenience, change of schedule, but I still wanted to give you some updates on day two. I know you all get to see some of it, and we'll have some questions about that. We're going to do our best to keep you updated as best we can as we receive information. Remember, all information is subject to change and can do so rapidly. I'm not a medical professional. Understand you may want to ask those type questions, but I'm going to defer any medical questions to our medical professionals. So with that, I'll take questions.
So Neal, practice schedule, I mean, you going to follow through, take spring break like normal? I mean, what's your schedule?
Yeah, so it's fluid. I think it's fair. It's fluid. It's a fluid situation, and we're going to continue to monitor the events and information nationally and locally to make a determination on how to move forward for the best of all involved. Safety is our number one concern. Safety for our student athletes, safety for our staff. The plan right now, as we speak, is to practice tomorrow in the morning and then give them spring break.
Neal, I have no idea how this will work, but if students can't come back after spring break, can your team come back?
Yeah, so our student athletes are going to adhere to the policies and procedures set forth by the university. The campus is open. The campus is open, and that's how we're going to kind of attack it. And again, some of it's fluid. I wanted to get in front of you all, but there's going to be some I don't knows. In all fairness, I thought it was important to address them, not trying to dodge it. I didn't think it was fair to put our players up here and have them ask these questions that I know you all have to ask. So I'm going to try to ask them the best I can. But fair in all fairness, it's fluid, and I don't have all the answers. I can tell you that our plans right now are to practice tomorrow. They will have spring break as normal. We have given them a lot of precautions, and we've tried to stay in front of this the best we can. We have multiple team meetings, education. Our medical people have addressed them. So we've stayed ahead of this. We have taken a lot of precautions, but it's fluid.
We did see or at least part of day two. So general just question, what did you see out of day two? What did you like, what didn't you like?
Yeah, I thought right until the end, we had one of our better practices since I've been here. It was clean. I think anytime we're ahead of schedule, which we stayed probably about 5 minutes ahead of schedule for the entire practice. I thought our guys had really had good energy. I think they wanted to release, really. You talk about yesterday. There's a lot went down yesterday. We started talking about this with our players about 8:30 in the morning, and you think about how things change from 8:30 to 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. It's unbelievable. I don't know if I remember a day like that, and so I think they enjoyed being outside and playing the game that they enjoy. It got a little sloppy at the end. I think some of that's conditioning wise. We got in some bad body positions, had too many guys on the ground, but it was spirited work. I thought we got good work in all three phases.
Neal, purely observational, but like a guy like Ali looks totally different, right?
Yeah.
Do you have your eyes on guys that, like, wow, he looks like he's fit, and it doesn't really mean anything until he's out there? But do you use the first couple of days to see if like vision matches performance, just like the guy who did really good winter work?
I think guys make a jump. I think we sometimes see it in redshirt freshmen that didn't play in the fall, but a couple of these guys that played have made real quality jumps. Ali Jennings being one of those guys. Most of you guys were here last year at spring practice. Think how much better we are as a receiving crew now compared to a year ago in the spring. Not only Ali, he's changed his body. Sam James has added about 10 pounds since the TCU game. Defensively, Drayshawn Miller, you'll got your eyes on him for the first time in a long time. He's added quality weight. Tay Mayo had a good day till right at the end today. So I think those are some guys that have changed their bodies. Parker Moore is a guy that's really, since he got here last June, his body has undergone a transformation. Bryson Mays, Bryson Mays is, I think we talked about him a little bit and how he's changed his body and how he's gotten stronger in the pre-spring press conference. But he's another guy that, and his performance has matched that through the first 2 days. Now we'll find out tomorrow because we're going to be in pads. It's a little bit different. It's hard to judge offensive lineman and defensive lineman until we get some pads on.
There were some new faces out there that may be GAs of the future. Have you started that transition
Yeah,
for some of those guys?
We will, and we'll do that. We'll do a release for those guys.
What's a guy like Keon Wakefield do to how you do roster management? A guy like who I believe he was on scholarship, right?
No, he's not right now.
Is that right?
At Louisville,
And then comes on here because he wants to continue playing, but there seems to be like a market of players like that too. Does that kind of fit into that kind of the scheming you have to do?
Well, I think that you try to manage your rosters as best you can in your numbers. He's a kid that's got talent. He's from Louisville, went to Louisville Male High School. His father was a coach there. We recruited him at Kentucky before I left, so I had a relationship there. And when he went in the portal looking to leave Louisville, he had an opportunity to come here, and been impressed with him. He's gotten stronger. Real slight kid in high school. His body's changed dramatically since the last time I got to see him play football in a live situation. But he'll be competitive in that inside receiver spot.
Not knowing if you're going to be able to complete spring or if you will be able to complete spring, are you trying to jam more in on the front end or just going to keep the same?
Yeah, I've kept it the same so far. And if we have to make adjustments, we'll adjust. I think every FBS school FCS school at the same token is kind of dealing with the same issues, and it's unprecedented. So as we need to make decisions, we will. But we're proceeding this week as planned, other than we spent some educational time on this issue.
That inside wide receiver spot, is that a strength for you guys now?
I think the receiver crew as a whole is a strength. I think a lot of it depends on the development, of Winston Wright and Keon and Grayson is another guy that his body's changed. I could have told Mike that too when he asked about that. Grayson's body has really changed for the positive over the last year. And Reese Smith will be in the mix there at that inside receiver spot. I think our big slots with T.J. Simmons and Esdale, Isaiah Esdale, they've started that position to have the most catches actually through 2 days.
You mentioned, Reese, all those new early enrollee guys, their heads got to be swimming. How do you bring them along with other guys who've been here for the entire time? Yeah,
you don't slow down. You just give them opportunities. Garrett kind of had his welcome to college football a couple times today, and that's going to happen. He made some really big-time throws on Tuesday. Reese had a long touchdown on Tuesday. Also had a couple procedure penalties and things like that. Jaito made a couple plays today. Sam got him on a couple deep balls on Tuesday. So for all those guys, there's a transition. But we get them out there and play. I mean, it's a spring. I always tell our guys, hey, we're in the process of getting better. Our record is going to be the exact same on April 18th as it is right now. It's going to be 0-0. So it's about the process of getting better.
You mentioned trying to get the QBs to challenge each other.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like off the field? I mean, is that – because they seem like competitive dudes already. I'm just not sure what –
So we always talk about this. What we talk about within our program is competing with. Because we're not necessarily competing versus each other, okay? That should be, at the end of the day, you have position battles, you have offense versus defense, we do special teams, good punt versus good punt return, those things, okay? But it should be competing with. You shouldn't necessarily be competing against, because at the end of the day, you're going to be on the same football team. We go play in September, we're going to line up on one side, and Florida State's going to line up on the other side. So we got to compete with. What the mindset is we're competing with each other to get each other better, so that position will be better. Okay, so that's the kind of the mindset is not necessarily being adversaries, but helping each other. If you see something fundamentally when he's in the game, mention it to him as y'all are high-fiving on the way out. okay? Or not fist bumping on the way back. We're on that now. Fist bumping. I shouldn't laugh. I'm serious. But we're fist bumping on coming in and off the field. Same in the meeting room. Is, hey, great throw. What'd you see there? Well, I saw the safety stay on the hash. Okay, good. And that's what I'm talking about as far as just is competing with and pushing each other to get better.
Basketball fan, are you curious to see empty arena games? And as a competitor, what would that be like?
You know, I think that it's going to be interesting. I do understand it. It will be interesting. It's I had this thought last night as they were talking about it, and I saw a couple of the games. Is, you know, it's almost like you're going back to like summer league, and I mean, you go back and these guys really haven't played without anybody in the arena except against another opponent. You got the one exhibition game in college, I guess, that are closed, but other than that, it's really summer league high school, you know. And so it's going to be interesting. I think what'll happen is these guys are going to compete. You know, whether it's NBA or it's NCAA, they're going to compete and compete like there's fans in the stands. So, anyway, guys, I appreciate the time. I know I changed your schedule a little bit. This is fluid. We're going to keep you all as updated as we possibly can. Okay, and so we're in kind of uncharted waters. Again, I'm not a medical professional. I'm learning, and a lot of this is I'm following the recommendations of our healthcare professionals in our administration.